friends, welcome back to Soul Searcher. After a bumpy upwind cruise from Lizard Island and the Outer Reef, we made our way back to Cairns, and our next adventure would take us far beyond the Australian waters. So we interrupt the usual Soul Searcher to take you to Africa on a charity water trip. We flew to Sydney, then embarked on the long-haul flight to Johannesburg, South Africa. Fun fact, we shared the flight with a large contingent of the South African professional football team. No photos, but trust us, it was a lively flight, although they had just lost to New Zealand. After a night's rest in Johannesburg, we met up with our group from Charity Water and boarded a Malawian Airlines flight to Blantyre, Malawi. I was a bit nervous about flying with an unfamiliar airline, but the flight was smooth and the views were stunning. First impressions, Malawi's terrain was drier and more mountainous than I expected. Despite it being July, the low humidity made the climate surprisingly comfortable. I mean, as long as you weren't working or walking for water out in the hot midday sun. In Malawi, Charity Water partners with local organizations to implement their projects. One such partner is Water for People, a respected group that has been working in Malawi since 2000. Their representatives joined us for the journey through the villages. Our goal was to see how Charity Water and their projects have impacted the lives of people in the villages in Malawi. Over the next 3 days, we visited multiple sites in Chikwawa and Chiradzulu. Our first stop was a village with a simple hand pump well, and it was managed by a dedicated woman who oversaw the community's water access. We then walked to their previous water source, a dirty stream. It was heartbreaking to learn that up to 40% of the population had suffered from cholera due to contaminated water before they got their well. Now they are much healthier and the kids are in school and people aren't really dying from cholera anymore. I'm not saying cholera doesn't happen because they still end up drinking from other polluted sources, but in general, they are doing so much better. Another site relied on runoff from agricultural fields, tainted with pesticides. The health risks were alarming. The water looked clean, but it really wasn't. At a new well site, we witnessed water as it gushed from the ground and the community celebrated. It was a super emotional moment, realizing the profound impact that clean water was going to have on their lives. The village welcomed us with a ceremonial dance, a beautiful expression of gratitude and hope. It was amazing. We visited an established well equipped with 2 large holding tanks, supplying water to several communities via solar power. Pretty high tech. Before this, women and girls in the community walked up to 10 miles daily for water, hindering their education and health.
We are happy now. What is happening now, it's very easy for us because we can just open the tap and collect water than what we used to do before. So this lady would like to demonstrate how they used to walk, because he's saying they didn't used to walk the way we are walking, but she would like to demonstrate how she used to.
Yeah, but yoyo unalibe mmene tikukhalira munga pakali pano ya tinali ozunzika kwambiri kunsinje kuno choncho ana pomabwera kuno tiyenera titenge mpango ngati uwu tiyamange ana mapero choncho salu inali imodzi umalera nyimba usogolo kuzimwana choncho azibambo amene adatikwatira tinali pamavuto kwambiri timasaukire mazi saukireso monga amene tikukhalira timapanga chonchi salu imodzi yomwe timachita kumberekera kawiri mwana.
What she was explaining was how they would manage to carry their infants and water at the same time. Not an easy feat, not whatsoever. Then, participating in a short walk to a dirty river, we learned about walking for water firsthand. Firsthand, once removed because we weren't carrying babies on our backs or water on our heads. We just walked. And it wasn't even really a long walk, but it was a hot walk. At the river, we saw women washing clothes and people bathing in the same water used for drinking. It really was a stark reminder of the challenges faced without clean water access. Exploring another community, we learned about their local liquor production and cooking methods. It was an eye into the world of the village and its life. This village benefited from a large concrete holding tank connected to a gravity-fed pipe system, and it was serving 5 communities. At a local school, we played with the kids and learned that attendance had increased significantly due to improved health and sanitation. Girls in particular benefited from education on hygiene and no longer had to spend their days fetching water. For the last 2 days of our trip, we bonded with fellow travelers at a wilderness retreat in Liwonde. The friendships formed and the stories shared were unforgettable.
Now, I have to tell you about what Dee told me about their safari days at the end of the trip. Because friends, this is where the real adventure began. They were staying in these gorgeous little safari cabins. Very natural, very open air. Basically screened from the waist up. You know, perfect for seeing the wildlife or letting it see you. One night, there's this terrifying sound. Branches snapping, something huge crashing through the brush just outside. It's pitch black, and I mean pitch black. All they could do was listen. Dee said their imaginations went absolutely feral. It could have been a lion, a hippo, a warthog, something prehistoric. But turns out, it was an elephant. Absolutely going to town on a tree. Well, they didn't figure that out until the next morning, but I'm pretty sure no one slept that night. And after hearing the mayhem, would you? Those screen walls weren't exactly inspiring confidence. Now, fast forward to their final evening. Picture this. Dinner under the stars, a warm fire, and local performers dancing. First up, a dancer mimicking animals. Next, a guy dressed like a local official. It was all in good fun, and everyone was laughing. And then, a roar. A real roar. Everyone kind of laughed. Not too nervously, assuming that the next act was going to be someone in a lion costume. Except, it wasn't. The lion, not part of the show. One of the hosts appeared calm but moving fast. Next thing they knew, guests were being loaded into a jeep, complete with armed guards riding on the front. And it turns out, a real lion had wandered just outside of the perimeter fence. Let's just say, no one went for a midnight stroll after that. Dee said she was very ready to leave the next morning. And leaving was a whole other thing. They were driven out to a dirt airstrip, again with armed escorts, just in case something large and hungry thought they'd make a nice breakfast. And the plane that came to get them, so small it had to make 2 trips just to get everyone back to Blantyre. Not exactly a 747, but they made it out intact and with one heck of a story to tell. And if you ask me, they earned their bush stripes.
Returning to Soul Searcher, we felt humbled by our experience. Our journey with Charity Water began over a decade ago at a clean water festival, inspired by Scott Harrison's story in his book, Thirst. Bob's passion for this cause has been unwavering, and we are proud to be supporters of Charity Water. Charity Water's mission is to bring clean and safe drinking water to the people in developing countries using 100% of public donations for water projects. Their partnership with organizations like Water for People ensures sustainable solutions. They don't just put in a well and leave it. They make sure that people are going to continue to benefit from it and know how to manage their water. Thank you for joining us on this eye-opening journey. Remember, access to clean water is a basic human need, and together we can make a difference.